thought we were going to be here.
We parked a mile away.
And walked?
And then we turned around at 6:30.
Oh.
I think this truck came up this way. That's what I heard. The car. Yeah, I know you were.
I just don't have the stomach for this.
We are on Facebook Live.
Okay, hold tight, guys. Seatbelt will start in just a minute. Everybody ready? Go ahead, Chief.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Jeff Elder, Director of New Orleans Emergency Medical Services. At approximately 6:42 p.m., while stationed here at this location, we had a vehicle ram through the crowd into a dump truck. We had multiple patients on scene. We transported 21 patients to 10 local hospitals, including 5 to the trauma center. Those brought to the trauma center were in guarded condition with no serious life threats at this time. We utilized New Orleans EMS ambulances as well as mutual aid partners and multiple other EMS and fire resources that were here on scene. We worked with the New Orleans Police Department to secure the scene. We had multiple bystanders that were helping us initially to treat the patients here. We had multiple medical providers here helping to triage and treat the patients. It took us approximately 30 to 40 minutes to get all of the patients off scene and to clear everyone off of the scene. And I'll turn everything else over to Chief Harrison for more specifics.
Thank you. What we know right now is that we have one subject in custody who was driving a pickup truck behind me, who apparently on the opposite side of the parade that was active, was traveling in the opposite direction from the parade, struck 2 vehicles, and then reared off to the other side and struck a dump truck and came to rest on the neutral ground. In the process, before that truck came to rest, struck a number of pedestrians, as Dr. Elder has already stated. We suspect that that subject was highly intoxicated. He is in custody. He is being investigated right now and is at our DWI office. And so we send a strong message about not drinking and driving and about making smart decisions. A number of these people are being treated right now, and I want to thank all of our first responders, police officers, paramedics, fire members, civilians who stepped up to help identify themselves as first responders from other areas of the country, who stepped up to help, but then the citizens who allowed us to actually do our job so that we could save as many people as we possibly can. So once again, this subject is in custody, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And right now, this is a very active scene that we're processing. And we just ask for citizen cooperation to allow us to process this very, very big, horrific scene.
Thank you. This is the second event that we've had on the parade route today. Some of the police officers that are out here working the scene were actually working the uptown scene as well. And we've had individuals who made really bad decisions today that have really caused serious damage and consequence to a lot of citizens, which is just a shame because there are hundreds of thousands of people that have been enjoying themselves. So for the rest of the season, we're going to ask people again, be respectful, be thoughtful to the citizens. If you see something, say something. I also want to thank the first responders and for the citizens who I always call angels among us that came out to help us. What you don't see right now is all of the trauma surgeons and all of the doctors and nurses working at University Center and the 9 other hospitals. On top of that, there was also a head-on collision on Fontainebleau and Broad where 5 children were injured, and they're handling that stuff as well. So our first responders have been acting heroically. I really appreciate them, appreciate all of you guys. But again, really a very difficult situation to an otherwise really beautiful day.
Mr. Mayor, would it make sense to have this side of the street closed down?
Well, we're gonna examine that. We're looking at all of the facts of this. So you see on Napoleon Avenue and on St. Charles Avenue, we do that. So we'll consider that. A lot of it has to do with crowd size and having the ability to move traffic. So we'll see.
Chief, we saw one police officer being loaded into an ambulance. Can you tell us the condition of that officer and if any other police officers were injured?
So what we know right now is that one police officer was struck by a vehicle. The mayor and I have gone to one hospital. We did manage to speak with her. She was in good spirits, but is injured. And right now, she's undergoing examinations to see exactly what injuries and how severe they are, but they don't appear to be life-threatening. And so certainly we're concerned. But we do have one officer that was physically injured and affected by this incident.
Dr. Elder, can you tell us the age of the people who were hit? The age range.
The ages range from approximately 3 or 4 years old. There's a small child. It's very stable, doing fine. To probably in their 30s and 40s, but I don't have good information with that.
And it was 21 injured altogether?
So 21 that we transported to the hospital. There were an additional 7 persons that declined EMS treatment and transport. They did not want us to take them to the hospital. And we took to 7 different hospitals with 10 ambulances.
Mr. Mayor, whenever you held your press conference about safety for Mardi Gras, you specifically mentioned the Christmas Berlin attack where a truck plowed into a crowd and you were trying to prevent that kind of thing. Are you concerned at any ulterior motive here?
I think it gives proof to the point that we were making that these are potential vulnerabilities that we have. And of course, the closures on Bourbon Street, we think have helped stave that off. In this instance, you had barricades. It's very hard to begin against somebody that's really intoxicated that runs through a crowd. We had another incident across the world today where the same exact thing happened. People have to be responsible and they have to be thoughtful about what they do. So both of the incidents today, individual in a portalet where a gun went off, don't know what the purpose of the gun going off was. We told people don't bring guns to the scene. Innocent people were hurt here today. Families watching the parade. We had somebody that was intoxicated that ran and hurt. And it's hard to protect against stuff like that except having a response like we had today where in both instances our officers were on their scene within seconds, if not minutes.
But Chief, I just want to confirm that you do not anticipate that this was any kind of a terror attack, that this was someone who was highly intoxicated and had an accident.
At this time, it appears that it's a subject who was highly intoxicated, who struck a number of vehicles and then veered off, hitting a whole bunch of innocent people, who is now under investigation for DWI and, of course, hitting all the people who are injured.
All right, guys, we'll have more later.
All right, y'all, thank you.
So there was a live press conference happening on a very crowded, still parade route where, if I can just get it clear of a little bit of the media here, you heard Chief Harrison say that he's confident this was not an act of terror. Still a tragic scene out here. 28 people hurt by that truck that ran into 2 other vehicles and then into the neutral ground as the Endymion parade was rolling by. And he said that 7 of those people declined treatment by EMS, but 5 of those 21 who were brought to area hospitals had to be taken to trauma centers. We're going to stay out here and bring you any updates that happen as soon as they do. Gina, back to you.
A lot of fluid numbers when they get.
Not yet. Not yet. They're doing an investigation, as you know, and so that they'll follow a normal timeline to do that. That won't happen. Any other questions you got?
Nope.
Make sure we report this right.
I appreciate it. No, they're not releasing the name.
Coming up later on Fox.
All right, keep moving. Come on, let's go.
I couldn't tell if it was Krieger or you or who was coming. I could tell it was too far. Oh my gosh. It was like, we were all the way over there. But you know what's funny? I was like, what is, whenever we went back on and I was rapping, I was like, what's that between my legs? I don't know what this is. And I was like, oh,